Hello, guys. Today we're gonna talk about money and anxiety. So, the reason why I really wanted to talk about this, just because I was thinking about this anxiety that comes in my body every time when I just waste all my money, when I just spend it, and I feel like my emotional state depends on money. And I know that there is a lot of people that actually live similar way. They feel the same. The minute you just spend your money, you feel bad. The minute you have money, you feel very good, which is mean you literally emotionally depend on money. But in reality, if you're responsible for your own life, which is mean you're responsible for your money and for your salary. So technically, in reality, money is supposed to depend on you. I realized recently that I really depend on money emotionally, and the minute I get money, I feel myself very good. The minute I spend it, I feel myself very bad. And my mom, my mom just look at me like, Sabina, you just spend your money on things that you actually wanted. Just look at your shoes. Look at your shoes. Look at how many dress you have. How many makeup stuff you have. Just look at it. It's all your money. Thing that I realized is, in the reality, I feel anxiety not because of spending all my money, not because I spend it, not because of money, just because I focus on money. I focus on absence of money, you know what I mean. So technically, when I think about something else, when I just think about, my job, or just things that I do, or about my YouTube channel, when I just sitting here and talking about this, I don't feel anxiety, I don't have any anxiety, but I only feel anxiety when I thinking about money. So the thing is, you're not gonna have anxiety if you're gonna be busy. A lot of people, I mean, like 90%, everyone gonna tell you that to make money, to have money, not to make, to have money, you need to have a job. So get a job, get a job. I heard this multiple times in my life. You need money, get a job. You need money, get a job. But in reality, you're not getting a job because of money. Because when I see all this, when I had a job, I didn't have money. Now I don't have a job, but I have money. How? We're not getting a job because of absence of money. It's not the way it's working. People, they might get amount of money while working on someone else's business, but this amount of money is just a basic. It's just for bare minimum. It's not gonna give you anything, any benefits. You're not gonna have you're not gonna be able to travel or just do what you really like. Why? Because the government and entrepreneurs, for them it's not beneficial to pay you a lot of money, because the only way to keep you working on someone else's business, paying you little, just paying you so little to keep you there, to keep you working on them. Imagine you just get a job and you earn a lot. Just for 2 months you earn a lot, like 10k, maybe 20k. Of course you're not gonna be there anymore. You're like, oh, I think I need a rest. I'm going to Bali. Government, the entrepreneurs, they're not really they know the heck, they know what's going on. So they're paying you amount of money to keep you there. That's why if you just look outside, you're gonna see all people that work 24/7, that actually do a hard job, that maybe have a career, they still broke. They still only have money for their basic things, for the rent, maybe for the food, for clothes. That's it, just for bare minimum, for your basic needs. I mean, that's not money. Getting a job not gonna give you any money, but gonna stop your anxiety. Why? See, there is a thing, when you keep your mind busy, anxiety ends. when you're not busy, you just, you cannot control your time. I feel like when I don't have any plans, I'm just, I might do whatever I want. I'm constantly feel so bad. I feel myself so bad, if I don't have any discipline, I become like sick. I feel like our consciousness always trying to find any reason to kill us or to make us upset, because especially if you always, there is a type of people that always worrying about something, even if it's everything good, they always they trying to find any reason to worry about. And for this type of people, it's really good to have a job, like to have just a job. It doesn't matter how much they pay. They need to just have a job just for their emotional state, just to keep their mind busy, to not thinking about money or something else, or about their ex. Just gonna be busy, okay? Because you cannot control yourself, you cannot control your time, and you cannot control your thoughts. So it's the same. If you cannot control yourself, you need to find someone, a boss that gonna control you. They're gonna keep your mind busy, but eventually you're just wasting your time because you're not gonna get any benefits from it. To keep your mind busy, you have two ways, control yourself, building a plan, you just know what you're doing. You have your own business maybe, or you just know what you really want to do. You have, like a plan. If you don't have a plan, just ask ChatGPT. You're gonna get a plan. You just have a plan, the plan that you're gonna wake up at 9 o'clock, maybe at 8 o'clock. What you're gonna do, you're gonna have a shower, you're gonna, just have a breakfast. Then what you're gonna do. So you need to plan to keep your mind busy. Then you're gonna walk a little bit, then you're gonna read this book. Maybe you need to learn something, need to learn something new. When you busy, when you're doing something, literally, you're not gonna have any anxiety. Become from not doing anything, okay? The more money you have, the more relaxed you become. Why actually people making money to not thinking about it? When you make money, you're not gonna think about money because you have it, so there is a point making money, not thinking about this. That's why poor people constantly thinking about money, but in reality they thinking about the lack of money. They're not thinking about how to make it bigger. More money you making, you're gonna stop feel anxiety, and you're gonna stop you're gonna be relaxed, because you know that you have money. If you complaining about that you cannot have a lot of money, or you cannot earn it, and you just feel like you need to get a job and all this stuff, just look at the old people that are wealthy now. Look at the people that have making a lot of money. They're all unemployed. All people that make money, a lot of money, they all unemployed. It's entrepreneurs, they unemployed, but they have a business, It's models, it's OnlyFans models, it's influencers, people that making money, a lot of money, they're unemployed. But there is a thing that connect all those people, and I'm gonna talking about this on the end of my video. What's the feature all people that making money have? Okay, when you don't have money, you're looking for fast money. You're looking for money, but you're trying to make it faster. People that give you advice to have a job, or telling always, you need money, get a job. That's a fast money. Okay, you might have this job, you get a job and you have money in this month, you're gonna get money in this month, it's a fast money. Okay, but it's not amount of money that might giving you something special. That's not amount of money that gonna end your anxiety. It's not amount of money that gonna make you relax. Okay, it's still money that keeps you there. People that not mature, not smart, gonna give you a type of this type of advices. So see, you might get a job when you're literally homeless, when you literally need money for food. Okay, let's start with this. If you're really homeless, you don't have money for food, you don't have, just a place where you might sleep, you need of course you need to get a job. But in reality, if you're living now in a place where you have everything, your basic needs closed, someone close it or you close it, so you just have money for your basic needs, you don't need to get a job. Open a business. Have a business, doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's your school, maybe it's your gonna be online business. Open a business. People like to say that if you trying to get money using your hobby, you're trying to make oh my god, that scared me a lot. You're trying to make money with your hobby, like you like to draw and you're selling your pictures or something, maybe you just like to sing. And some people saying, no, if you're making money with your hobby, things that you like, that's not gonna give you any happiness because you're gonna hate it, because you're gonna be tired to make it every day. There is deadlines that you need to keep, and you cannot become tired by doing something that you like. Imagine, I really love to draw. That's my favorite thing in my life. I enjoy drawing. I always drawing when I feel bad, when I feel good. I'm drawing every time, and that's just like my meditation. When I drawing, I meditate. When I'm doing this, I feel myself very good, and I really forget about everything, about anxiety. I forget about anything. I forget about that I need to eat. I forget about that I need to do something. When I make my picture, when I drawing, during the process, I don't feel I tired. I really no, I don't feel it. When you making something that you like to do, now I'm filming this video and I really like to do this, and I'm not really feel tired. I can do this every single day, 10 times a day, and I'm gonna do this anyway because I'm not become tired because of this. That's not something devastating me. It's I'm not devastated. I'm not feel oh my god, I spent all my day. No. But in reality, when you working only for money, so you just do things that you actually hate, you're gonna be so tired and you're gonna feel devastated. You're gonna feel oh my god, I have no strength to do something, no strength to go to this job again, because you don't like it, and so you're not gonna handle it anyway. So if you gonna keep your mind busy, you're gonna have a plan, you're gonna do things that you like, and you're not gonna be devastated because of it, because you really like it. You really like to do this. You're doing this every time, and eventually you're gonna make a lot of money because of it, because you cannot stop it, and something that you cannot stop it eventually gonna work. When you have a business, your own business, you might get income, but you might get amount of money, but it's not going to be a fast money. When you have your your online business, you getting money maybe once in 1 year. Maybe you're going to make money every day, so maybe it's not going to work the way how you think, because getting a job is the easiest way in this circle in this life. Working in someone else's business, not being responsible for your own life, because working in someone else's business is the easiest thing in your life. You just give all this responsibility to some random person, that's gonna be your boss. You're just gonna give all this responsibility, now you're responsible for my money, now you're responsible for my time, now you're responsible for my life. But in reality, little by little, you see that actually you become broke. Little by little, you're gonna see that you become broke, because this amount of money never gonna give you anything besides food, besides your basic needs. I feel sometimes people that they act like child, they not really want to take to be responsible for their own life and for their own money, for their income, because it's easy to getting a job and just blaming your boss, that you're not making a lot of money, that your salary is so small, because now still you just, at least you have someone to blame. That's it, at least you have someone to blame. But who said that this man or this person, your boss, supposed to give you a lot of money? Who said that? No one said that. I was talking with this guy that I were on a date like 2 years ago. I just remembered because it was so funny. Okay, we were talking, we had 2 days, maybe 3 days, and he couldn't believe me that I cannot find a job. And in a reality, if you're pretty, you understand what I mean. The wind is crazy, guys. I feel like I'm gonna fly now. Oh my god. Okay. So he couldn't believe that I cannot get a job. I mean, I'm getting a job, but the thing is, when you're pretty, you're young women, everyone wanna get you just for something else, not for a job. And I was so surprised. I don't know how it's working, because I'm just literally applying for the job, and huge companies and most of CEOs of these companies, they suggest me something inappropriate. I mean, they suggest me to be their mistress, and like, see honey, I'm gonna pay you more just for $1,000, and I really wanted to you be my mistress. And I'm like, for $1,000, just for you paying me more for $1,000 are gonna be 2 or 3,000 in months, and you really thinking that I'm cheap, because that's so cheap, and I just sent, I couldn't believe that actually that's the way how it's working, in this world that built by a man for a man. That's the way how it's working. You're not gonna find a job. It's not easy, especially for a pretty girl. My aunt said, Sabina, as long as you're beautiful and young, you're not gonna find any job. I'm like, oh my god, thank you for your compliment. So I just sent him the message that the CEO texted me, that that he suggests me being his mistress. And the company was really big, and my friend, she also applied to this company, and no one suggested to her being a mistress or someone else. No one suggested her any inappropriate things. Or excuse me, but okay, it's a compliment. I feel like it's a compliment, okay? And I just said this guy, the guy that we're on a date, like, see the messages. Actually, it's a huge company. See what the CEO texted me. And he read all these messages, and he just becomes so angry that he's like, you need to go to police, and showing all these messages to police. I'm like, even if I go to police, what's they gonna do? I'm like, I'm just gonna waste my time, because it doesn't matter, how many companies doing this actually, So I just think like I'm not gonna get any benefits, even if I'm showing this to policemen. The policeman said like, yeah, and what, like, because it's a world built by a man for a man. I mean, yeah. I think like every man support other man in this kind of mindset, so it's disgusting, but still. And he's like, and then he started to blame me that I'm searching a job in the wrong websites. He's like, you're not searching job in the right place, you're not looking a job in the right place. I'm like, you still want to blame me? Like, really? You want to blame me now in this situation? And he actually then he sent me the the website when I can find a better job. But guys, I feel like all all these websites and all these job, and I was in a lot of interviews, and I feel like the companies and the way how they looking for new people, it's like weird. And he's like, why I never he's like, but I never heard something like this. I'm like, yeah, because you're a man, no one suggests you, no one gonna suggest you anything. It's still very easy to, to get a job for a man, and it's still very easy for a man in this world, because if women need money more, and if you're women, you're gonna feel a big anxiety because of money, because of absence of money, because if women become homeless, if women one day become really homeless, you cannot survive in this world. Literally, you cannot just live in this world. You're not gonna survive, and we all feel it. I don't get it why when men call women gold diggers and someone. Of course, women gonna thinking about her benefits and about money first, because without money, women never gonna survive. Homeless man. If man gonna be homeless, he's gonna survive anyway, because they're not bleeding every month. They can't just sleep everywhere. No one gonna. Man gonna survive, even if he doesn't have any money. Even if he's homeless, he's gonna survive anyway. No one wants him. But if women become homeless, you're not gonna survive, and you know it. That's why for women, having money, it's the most important thing in the world. People that making a lot of money, they all, it's as I said, it's influencers, it's football players, it's just they all unemployed, it's entrepreneurs, it's models, people that actually really making a lot of money. They have the thing that connect them, they have same feature. And what it is, what do you think what it is? They find themselves interesting and special. See the point. I feel like 90% of all people in this world, they're not finding themselves special. Even sometimes I see how people in the comments texting, you're not special, everyone just like you. You're not special, because a lot of beautiful girls just like you. You're not special, because they're not finding themselves special. As long as you think that you're not special, you're never gonna make a lot of money, because who said that you deserve it? I'm like, you're not special. Of course you're not gonna make a lot of money. Just look at people that working hard. They know that they're not special, but because they think that they're not special, okay, they think that they don't deserve it. That's it. And they never do something special. I was listening to Brian Tracy lectures, and he said very interesting thing. No, that wasn't Brian Tracy, that was Bob Proctor. Yeah. He said the only way making a lot of money, doing something special, because if you're working hard, your job is very, very hard, but someone might replace you. That's not something special. I mean, yeah, it's hard, but everyone might replace you. Look at the influencers. They all have their, special ways. They all have their special energy. Even if they pretty, but they look different. It doesn't matter. Even if you just go outside, you see just 1,000 beautiful girls, but they all different. All different. They might just be pretty, but their beauty is different. Their energy different. See how many influencers now, how many, everyone want to become an influencer, and most of people, they like, everyone now want to become an influencer. Why you think you might be an influencer? Only poor people with poor mindset gonna set that, because they thinking that being themselves, it's embarrassing. See, there is a lot of influencers, but some people, I think there is a few people that I can really listen. A few people, because there is a girl that my sister showed me recently. She's an influencer, and I just listen her. I feel like, yeah, she's, everything she said, it's right, the thing that she said, it's right, and I agree with all these things. This girl very mature, and she's very smart, but her voice so annoying. Her voice so, and I cannot really listen to her. I cannot concentrate and focus. I'm only focusing on her voice, and her voice very, very, very annoying for me. So that's the same. There is 100 football players, 1,000 models. There is a lot of people, but everyone is special. You're really thinking that you're not special, but we all have a different DNA. Just, I think it's the last thing that I'm gonna say. Sometimes I feel like I cannot reach money. I just earn amount of money and I cannot make it bigger. And it's not you cannot reach money. It's not me cannot reach money. Actually, it's money cannot reach you. You mean you know what I mean? See, we all able to making a lot of money. We're all able to making a lot of money. Just most of people, they're blocking the energy, blocking by thinking, oh, I'm not special, do I really deserve it, oh no, I couldn't handle it anymore, and this type of thoughts blocking the energy, especially if you're not relaxed, you're not confidence. I feel like being confident, it's stressing yourself, because just look at all people that making a lot of money, even if the things that they said, it's all bullshit. I feel like some influencers, some coaches, I just listen to them like, oh my god, how can you how can people really can listen to you? Just they, especially some podcasts that men do, they're just complaining constantly, but people like them. Why? Because they so confidence. Maybe it's fake confidence, maybe they just fake it until you make it. But as long as you act confidence, meaning you trust yourself, meaning you trust to yourself, like you really believe things that you said, you really believe in this bullshit. So as long as you believe in things that you said, things that you doing, maybe you're a singer and you believe that, like, you're the most beautiful singer in this world, your voice unbelievable. If you believe in this, even if it's bullshit, people gonna give you a lot of money. Even if you're model, but you're not perfect, your body not perfect, but you believe that you amazing in your work. If you artist, and you believe that your arts, your works, it's just wonderful thing in this world, people gonna give you a lot of money just because you trust yourself. As long as you trust yourself, that's gonna work. If you cannot trust yourself, you only create doubts, and you doubt your words. I feel like some people are very, very smart, especially people that are very, very smart. They always thinking about something, and then they're like, no, maybe I'm wrong, no, maybe it's not working like this. They always acting, and they telling something, but in the meantime, they're not really trusting themselves. So if you cannot trust yourself, even if the things that you said really, like, it's right, no one gonna trust you, because you're not act confidence. Recently I was listening to the man. Now he's entrepreneur, but he was a CEO. But the things that he said, actually, it's bullshit. He just saying things with like confidence face, like being that much confidence. Only men only men can act this confidence. women cannot be like them. Only men can act. I mean, he literally like actor, because the way how he's saying this bullshit with the confidence face, with the poker face, like he's selling something really serious, and everyone really believe in this bullshit. Like he become famous very fast because he act confidence. I actually heard a lot of men that their coach, they're giving a lot of advices, but in reality, I just listen them and I feel like, oh my god, people really trust them. People really finding interesting. Like it's sometimes they're really dangerous, but they're not question their words. They're not question his words. They're not really asking like, is this man really like who it is? What he's talking about. Really, they're not questioning him. I feel like 90% of all society dumb, because a lot of people, they're not question anything, especially people that believe in the religious. They not question anything. I mean, if you just believe in this book just because you read it, you might believe in something, but in reality, believing and trusting everyone, and meantime not question any words and not doing your own research, sometimes I think it's like so dumb. Sorry, not sorry, it's the last thing. I swear it's the last thing. Because it's so cold and the wind so crazy. I don't know how I really gonna come back home. Maybe I need to call a taxi. So it's a passion. The last thing, it's a passion. Why? See, we cannot making things without passion. We need to have it. So if you're doing something and you're not feeling passion, which is mean that's not your business, it's not something that you need to do. You need to feel passion, like me now recording this video in this place, while like it's night outside, but I'm still here. So I know people looking at me because it's a cafe shop, and maybe sometimes people finding me crazy because I'm just talking with myself with this phone. Yeah, but it's a passion. I'm still here, and I'm still doing this video, and yeah, as long as you feel passion, you're doing this, you cannot, no one gonna stop you. I feel like sometimes we need our own place to create. We need our place to create. Maybe in some cases you cannot feel passion because you feel anxiety. As long as you're gonna feel anxiety, you're not gonna able to create something, because anxiety stop you to create something. That's why poor people become more poor and the wealthy people become more wealthy every day, because poor people, they feel anxiety every day, and because of anxiety keeps you far away from money. Anxiety keeps you far away. Sometimes I feel like I really want to create when I just come to my dad's village. It's a very interesting place among mountains. There is no people around, no people, like nothing, no hospital, nothing around. There is no shop even, there is no store. You cannot buy some food even there, So it's a place for survivals, for brave women like me. But I really love this place. But it's the long way. It took 5 hours, even more, to go there, And in this place, I feel passion. I feel power to create something. Even I actually have one video there. The video called "Getting Everything You Want by Letting It Go." Yeah, this video. Maybe you need some places where you might feel passion. Now I'm recording this video in coffee shop because I cannot record this in my home. I feel like not comfortable. Sometimes we need a place where we might create, and when I there, I don't feel any I don't feel any need to have money, actually, because there you don't need to have money. Food is growing there. There's no people around, no shop around, no store, as I said. you're not in a big competition with other people. You don't need a car there because it's mountains everywhere. Just even if you have a car, there is no way to use it there. Yeah, that's it. So when I just come there, I have a lot of power to create something, and I just start to doing something there. And you know what's the really interesting? The minute I start creating something, the minute I forget about my anxiety, and I minute I forget that I spent all my money and I don't have any, I feel like money comes to me when I just there and I do not think about money. Money can reach me when I'm not blocking them with anxiety. You catch my thoughts? If you blocking your money with anxiety, you cannot get it, So guys, I hope that I give you something that really helps you. I hope really gonna help you. Things that I learned, things that I realized recently, gonna give you a lot of gonna help you to make more money every day. I really, really hope that you're gonna find yourself special, and you're gonna think that you deserve a lot of money in this world, because money is a source of life. Bye bye.